So I'm going to give a trigger warning at the beginning of this video. If you are the kind of person who does not like deep, dark tales, this is where you click off, especially dark tales about the country that we live in, the United States. I kept racking my brain trying to understand. Why does the White House seem completely indifferent to the fact that the supply chains are breaking and that containers are empty at the ports and the consumer prices are skyrocketing? It didn't make sense. Like, why this huge push all of a sudden with the tariffs? And then I remembered. I've seen this before. What we need to do is stop pretending that this is about jobs. Because what's happening in America right now with our jobs, our factories, our ports, our economy, all has historical precedent. And the last time that the world saw this kind of behavior clearly, it was in Germany before World War II. We're hearing it spun like this. We're bringing back manufacturing jobs. We're making America great again. We're becoming self-reliant. We're protecting American workers. What's really happening? If you look at what's being focused on, what's being reshored the first, things like semiconductors, military-grade electronics, steel and defense parts, pharmaceuticals, AI hardware and batteries. And not just anywhere, strategically. In Texas, near oil, defense, and ports. In Arizona, chips and aerospace. In Ohio and Pennsylvania, near rail hubs and industrial corridors. And in Georgia and the Carolinas, because they have port access along the coastlines. That's why this doesn't make any sense for the consumers, because it's not about us. These are not consumer-first moves, or wartime logistics moves. Let's go back to Germany in 1933. Before Schmittler started killing off you-know-who, before that happened, he started by rebuilding Germany. Between 33 and 39, Nazi Germany pumped billions into steel, arms, chemicals, and infrastructure. In 1936, Schmittler launched his 4-year plan to make Germany self-sufficient. Any of this sounding familiar? And ready for war. Unemployment dropped, factories boomed, people were told this is a German comeback story. But then, in 1941, that machine was used to wage global war. And later, execute genocide, using the very same railroads, factories, and forced labor that started as economic progress. And don't forget that during the World War in America, factories that were making consumer products moved over to making wartime products, bullets, helmets, tanks, etc. So it's not a stretch to say AI factories move over to doing stuff for autonomous drones, chip manufacturing, missile guidance systems, battery factories, military vehicles, and energy independence in case of global conflict. With all of that in mind, let's look around. Sky-high tariffs, making everyday goods unaffordable. The consumer economy is collapsing. Military budgets are on the rise. AI, biotech, chips, all dual-use technologies, and now all being federally subsidized. The buyer isn't you anymore. It isn't us, the consumers, the government. We are not the consumer. The war machine is. This was about revitalizing the economy for the American people, do things that would cause food prices to skyrocket, medications to go out of stock, and you would address jobs taken by automation. The economy isn't being built for us. It's being built for conflict. Germany didn't industrialize because it was evil. It industrialized because it was afraid, and it wanted control. It turned that power against its people. Today, the U.S. finds itself in direct competition with China to protect our interests, to restore our greatness. But how long until the war machine, the people become restless, and they need someone to blame? Just like they did in Schmatzy Germany. To control, people to silence, a scapegoat to make the American population quiet, calm, compliant. I've seen this movie before, guys. Only this time it's in English and it's being funded with our tax dollars. This isn't about jobs. It's not. If it were, it wouldn't be being done this way. This is about control, potentially about readiness, and definitely about war. When you marry all of that with all of the closed borders, dehumanizing anybody who's black or brown, we have the recipe for a very, very ugly situation on our hands. And I feel like history is about to repeat itself, but this time on American soil.